Hey crafters, it's Jen Evers with Quality Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how to make this cool card, this hidden slider card. So you can't see the mechanism from the outside and you can't see it from the inside, but it slides underneath those little parts that you put on, okay? And if you are the type of person who needs exact, precise measurements, this video might frustrate you because I'm not making one this exact size. I enlarged this and just kind of went off the cuff when I made it. So I'm going to try to do it as simply as I can. You need an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. That's what we're going to start out with. And we are going to cut it in half, the 11-inch way, right in half at 4 1/4. So each side will be 4 1/4. Okay. Save this long side for the base and take the other half. If you have a trimmer like mine, open it up. We're going to cut it in half again. This time we're cutting it at 5 1/2. So that we've got two card bases that are 5 1/2. And now one of these card bases you're going to want to trim off about 1/4 of an inch off of each end because we're going to use that on the inside. So cut off 1/4 from that side, turn it, and cut off another 1/4. Okay, that's going to hide our mechanism on the inside. It's going to be just slightly smaller than half of our card. You can throw these pieces away, you won't need them. Can you hear the guy next door shooting off fireworks? Yeah, he thinks that the 4th of July is still going on. Alright, this sheet, we need a strip that goes the long way, the 5 1/2 way, and it can be any width that you want, but I think we're going to go at about 2 inches. Okay, so make your cut at about 2 inches. That'll be our slider that goes in and out, alright? And then this last piece that we have, let's see, let's go ahead and cut this one as well at 2 inches. And then turn it and then cut it at 2 inches again, so you've got one 2-inch by 2-inch square piece. And that'll be our other slider piece. Okay, now before I move on, let's make sure we have all of our pieces. This one should be 11 by 4 1/4. This one was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but we cut 1/4 of an inch off of it, so it fits just inside 1/2. This was our 2 by 2 square for our mechanism, and this was our 2-inch by 5 1/2 inch. That's going to be our slider that goes in and out. So make sure you have all of these pieces. Alright, think we're ready to go? Let's grab this long piece and we're going to fold it in half. Okay, and I want my card to open up the regular way, obviously, and my slider is going to come out this way. So that's the orientation I want. And my slider is going to come in and out this way. Okay? And now I need to cut the window that the slider is going to go in, and I'm going to use this cutter. I'm going to slide it in up the top at about, an inch or so away from the edge. Slide it down and punch, and slide it down and punch. So that it's kind of in the middle. See, like that? Alright, if you don't have that punch, which I am suspecting many of us don't, you can go ahead and just figure out about where you want it to go, because the width of this hole really doesn't matter, but let me give you an idea of what it is on this one. It's just over 1/4 of an inch, so you can do it by that. So measure out 1/4 of an inch, take your ruler, cut it down, move it over your 1/4 of an inch, take your ruler and cut it down, and then make each one of these ends just a straight end cut, because the rounded edge is not going to make or break your slider card. Okay, so we've finished making the hole. Before we put our sliding mechanism in there, this is optional if you want, but some people like to put a little tab hole there. So just take a half of a circle and punch it there, so that you've got a place to grab on and pull. You can do just one side. I like to do both sides so that I can pull it with my fingers, so where it sticks out there I can find it easily. Okay, now that we've got our little circle cut out there, we're going to put in our slider piece, and we're going to look to see that it's pretty much matched up so that there's a little bit on each side of the hole. And then on the left side, we're going to put a little bit of our pop dot. Now I've got pop dot tape. You might have pop dots. Something that's going to lift it up slightly. Okay? Put that piece on there. Peel that up, and this is where we're going to put that 2" by 2" square. Now I think that's a little too big. So we're going to go ahead and cut that down. I'm going to go ahead and cut it down to 1.5 by 1.5. Okay, and then I'm going to put that right in the middle there. Now we're going to open up the card and we're going to use that piece that we had originally made. This piece right here is going to go right over the top. And the only place that we're going to put our sticky tape is going to be on the very top and the very bottom. And we're going to put that tape right on this piece. Okay, so I've got sticky tape on the top and the bottom. I'm going to make sure that this is straight, and then I'm going to put that right over the top of this. You want to make sure that wherever you put your tape, that your tape is not adhering to your mechanism. So I'm just going to slide this to make sure. And then we can close it up and then test it out. And it slides pretty smoothly. I might have my tape on the bottom just a little too close. Oh, it works pretty well. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece for the top to hide this. I'm going to start by cutting this 2" by 5" and see if that covers that up. So 2 by 5. And we want it to go right here. We want it to cover up the mechanism, but we don't want it to cover up the whole square. See where the square sticks out here? Because you want to be able to stick something that square that's going to slide back and forth. And that's where it's going to go. It's going to go over the top of this. So it could be a circle. It could be another square. It could be anything that you want it to be. And I was thinking that I really wanted to put this butterfly on. So I think that'll still work. But I'm thinking maybe I want that just to be a little bit further down so that I can see more of it. Just so it doesn't get stuck on there. So I'm going to cut off just 1 more 1/4 inch. So it'll be 1 3/4 by 5. See what I mean by if you need exact measurements, it doesn't always work out because it just depends on what you're putting on it, how long you want your slider to be, how big you decide your card to be. So now I've got this much room, and this butterfly will still fit on there, and because I made my slider blue to match this background, you won't really see it. So to put this on so that it doesn't disrupt this, we're only going to put the glue on right here, the bottom, and the top here. Okay, because that's where it's going to stop. So a U shape. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to put some on the right side and the left side, and when I flip it over, this side is going to be the bottom, so I'm going to put some on this side. And then I'm going to put it on here so that it's even. So the whole top is open. I did not glue anything at the top. Alright? And now I'm going to put my adhesive right on that strip that's sticking out there. And that's where I'm going to put my embellishment. Whatever type of embellishment it is that you decide that you want on there, And this is a little sticky, so I'm going to grab my adhesive bag. My embossing bag, I should say. It's going to get rid of the sticky because there's baby powder in there. Because I don't want this sticking to there because then it won't slide. I just want it to stick to this. Now, if you find it doesn't slide, you can put another pop dot on there too. Let's test it out. And he does slide. He slides really well. So there's your slider card. You've got your hole and your coverage on the front, and then your page on the back to cover up your other part of your mechanism on the inside, and then a place for it to slide. And you can just do this any way you want. Like I said, where's my card? I just did it on a larger scale. The numbers will probably a little bit different. It still slides the same in and out, and then I added an extra tag on the end. You can add extra tags. You can embellish it any way you want. So I hope that helps. I really think that it's a fun card to make. If this was unclear at all, let me know. I'll try to help you out. But I hope you enjoy making them, and I'll see you guys next video.